Let's talk Tanya for the second of Elul. In yesterday's Tanya, we explained that although the Torah and Mitzvos are chesed, they're God's kindness, they're the way that we draw down God into this world, but the chesed necessarily first enters into Gevura, into God's attribute of severity, in order to limit it so that it should be able to enter our world. Which explains why Mitzvahs generally have limitations. And that is because, although they are sourced in chesed, they first come through Gevura. So, for example, tzitzis, there's a certain minimum length to it. A lulav or a shofar, all of these have minimum lengths to them. A mikvah has to have 40 saw of water. That's a certain measurement. These are limitations. Now, although these are minimums and not maximums, you can have a lulav that's however long, or a shofar however long, or you can go to the mikvah and a sea if you want. But the important thing to understand is the mitzvah is inherently limited, which is why the bigger the size, it doesn't make the mitzvah any bigger. You know, you could blow on a shofar, which is a huge shofar. I know that some people do that. You didn't do a bigger mitzvah by doing so. You don't become more pure if there's more water in the mikvah. There is that amount of water that's needed, or that size that's needed for the shofar, the tzitzis, or the lulav, and doing more than that doesn't count for anything because the mitzvahs are inherently limited. Also, there are limitations in time. The example that Alter Rebbe gives is of karbanos, of sacrifices. The animals that were brought for sacrifices had to be of a specific age, no younger than this, no older than this. And the same is true of tzedakah, which is going to be the topic of our letter, the larger topic of our letter, that there is a limitation to the mitzvah. We know that we're obligated to give 10% of our earnings to tzedakah. And if you want to do the mitzvah in a very special way, in a beautiful way, then we give 20% of our earnings. But 20%, it's a lot, but it's also a certain limitation. And again, all this is reflective on the idea that although the mitzvahs originate in chesed, they enter first through gevura in order to come down into our world. Is there an exception to this rule? Is there any part of Torah or mitzvahs which is not affected by this limitation? The answer to that we will find out, God willing, tomorrow.